She is hailed as the mother of Taiwan's e-commerce.
我算是从小就还蛮知道自己喜欢什么、擅长什么 ，and I was always willing to follow my heart.
他却积极跟总部争取，就是说，我们可不可以在台湾来开始做拍卖？怎么可能做得起来呢
I have a healthy self-image.
因为他对自己要求标准比较高吧，是吧？所以一回来大家就很紧张。两个董事长回到家谁听谁的嘛？那我这时候听上帝的，那时候诊断出南至北讨，对不对？日夜颠倒，时差对身体当然有影响。
好像就像上帝给了你一个越来越清楚的一些 sign， 然后我觉得 it's time to flip the page。
In a workplace dominated by men, achieving remarkable success as a woman is challenging. It requires not only a unique vision, but also the ability to enact groundbreaking initiatives. These two women have both achieved remarkable success in male-dominated fields and turned their success into a force for helping others. Rose So is known as the godmother of e-commerce in Taiwan. Who is she and how did she achieve this notable title? Let's delve into her story together.
Hi, Melody. Welcome to AMA.
Rose, how
Good
are
to see you.
Thank you for
Let me
having
show
me.
you around.
Yes. The Asia America Multi-Technology Association, or AAMA, is a nonprofit learning platform where Rose So shares her experiences as a professional manager helping young entrepreneurs grow. Rose, can you tell me about this space, AAMA?
Okay, AAMA is a place where Taiwanese entrepreneurs meet mentors. So this space, we're actually in a historical preserved building. It's
Right.
renovated in a very lovely, beautiful,
Yes.
kind of outfit. We were very fortunate to have this platform.
She is generous with the experiences she shares, and the courses are developed through rigorous discussions with her team to ensure that the leadership principles shared meet her expectations.
我的想法就是说，可能你第一个小时把一些观念还是跟大家分享，大概1小时就够了。其他我们就可以分几个单元的，因为你有 altogether 4小时，你可能 every 50 minutes 你有一个 break，right？ 然后呢，可以让他们把他们在这一类，例如说你现在内部沟通的问题，我们整理成4个问题、5个问题，我们就真的来讨论问题。
At 32, Rose became the general manager of MTV Taiwan. At 35, she was headhunted by Yahoo Taiwan, ascending to the role of CEO of the multinational. With 20 years of experience at Yahoo, she fostered an open workplace culture and demonstrated boldness by breaking the norms of company management.
雅虎其实在全球，我们做的都是一个媒体的服务，提供都是一个媒体的服务。可是呢，他却积极跟总部争取，就是说，我们可不可以在台湾来开始做拍卖、电子商务拍卖的服务？其实每个人都会对他说。不可能呢，我们不懂得这些营运，没有这种 know how， 怎么可能做得起来呢？
Rose's spirit of mission accomplished has led to remarkable achievements, multiplying business performance tenfold within a decade. She is hailed as the mother of Taiwan's e-commerce. Her open style even enabled successful mergers and acquisitions of social networking platforms.
我们都觉得不可能。无名小站那几个年轻的大学生，怎么可能愿意把他们的公司卖给我们一家这么成熟的入口网站 ？She never take no as an answer。尤其在那一段时间，就是她怀胎9月，快要临盆生上恩的那段时间，尽管在产房都快要生小孩的时候，那个手机还是一直挂在她的手上，不停的跟公司还有跟无名小站的几位创办人在做沟通。
Being in a predominantly male-dominated industry, how did she persevere? How do you view your gender? Was there anything that you feel or that you wanted to say to other young women who are looking to start in technology, e-commerce?
Right.
What are your words of mentorship that you would like to tell them?
I feel like I'm very fortunate. I did not have that fear of being a woman, meaning being inferior, or meaning I'm not as good, or get intimidated by males. I feel part of that is personality, maybe how I was raised. I'm a family of 4 children, but my parents had treated girls the same way as boy. So in a sense that I have a healthy self-image. I think that's very important, no matter you're male, female, girl, boy. The self-image is very important, and that's a lot of is brought by your family upbringing. It doesn't mean that you have to be in a very well-to-do family. It's most important your value is being seen by people who you really care about. I always feel like I do things that I enjoy. So I forgot I'm male, female, this kind of gender bias. So when I walk into corporate and workplace, it's the same thing.
Okay.
It's the same thing when you feel like you're passionate, you're doing something you're passionate, you forget about all these things. And indeed, women and men are built differently. We take interest in different things.
Yes.
And male, when you talk to people, you want to talk to people who make you easy, comfortable. Yes. So it is quite common for women to try to crack into a conversation with a bunch of male. You feel discomfort. It is normal. So I learned a lot by putting myself in those awkward situations. But I never took that as, oh, that's a problem. I just know we're different. We need to be aware we're all biased.
Right.
We're all biased one way or the other. Women are biased as well, just as men are biased. So when we put on the lens to be aware that we're all biased, but bias is not good because you kind of suppress, right, certain different opinions. In the end of the days, it becomes not everybody can bring the whole self into the workplace, which is a shame. So it is true, but I want to get to the bottom of it, which is not just a discrimination, it is just difference.
Reflecting on growing up in a military dependence village, free from gender constraints and frameworks, she served as class president and vice president throughout her 6 years of elementary school. Her innate warmth and fearlessness, alongside a proactive and open mindset, opened doors for her during her career, from Taiwan to the international stage. The story of how she advocated for herself to Yahoo's co-founder Jerry Yang remains a legend to this day. You actually talked to Jerry yourself on the car. He called you asking you about a male candidate, and you're like, Jerry, what about me?
What about me?
Like, how did you, and that second, how did you get that courage to just, push yourself out there, be proactive about asking to be seen at that moment?
That's actually a great question. I did not know how I got the courage at that moment, but now when I look back, I think that courage was never built for that moment. You're building your courage all along in your life, from very little things, and then you started to recognize that you can have a voice, right? From early days on, from small issues, from school activities to in class, raise your hand to ask a question. So little things kind of add up to the moment when you feel like I have something to contribute. Why am I not being seen? And he was surprised. He did not expect that I would actually confront him with, have you thought about me, right? So that opened a door, a fresh career door for me. And that's the first time that I was able to step out of Taiwan, my comfort zone, and start looking after, kind of Asian Pacific region, step by step. So I really encourage people to just speak up. A lot of people ask me, hey, what if Jerry did not give you what you wanted?
What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly, Melody, that's exactly what I said.
He's not gonna fire you.
Exactly, exactly. I said the worst, I would just continue doing what I do. And besides, he would feel like he owed me, right?
That's good.
Our biggest enemy is actually ourselves. The fear in our mind that there's that little voice, you don't know where that voice coming from, but it just tell you, oh, it's not gonna work. It's really hard. Don't embarrass yourself.
Don't embarrass yourself.
All those nonsense. you just have to kill that voice first. I often advise people, I say, really sit down and think about what is the worst.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised how the worst is not so bad.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
It's not so bad. Oh, it's actually not so bad.
Having a courageous voice and working relentlessly to achieve goals, combined with women's innate empathy, is a bonus in managerial roles. While navigating her busy career, how did Rose manage to find the balance between work and family? Rose, we know that in your professional life, you've accomplished so much. There must have been some sacrifices maybe you felt on the personal front. Can you tell us a little bit about how you achieved that, what you call work-life harmony?
True. You know, when we work in a high-pressure style, you know, time was very limited. When I recalled at my last corporate job, I probably took 20 to 30 business trips every year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so it's a very time demanding. I found that that's one thing that always touched my heart or touched my nerve was when I saw my son was eating alone. You know, both my husband and I worked late. We hardly came home for dinner. One day when I realized that was during COVID. We were all at home. And he came home from school and he just went straight to his room without greeting us. I was like, why did you not say, hi, Mom, I'm back? And then I realized, at a moment, he never had to say that because we were never home. Work-life harmony may not happen every moment.
Yes.
When we in our early part of a career, everybody has to work.
Hustle.
You have to hustle. You work long hours. And so don't criticize yourselves or don't expect you're going to reach that work-life balance every step of the way. But we can look at our life in totality. Maybe we focus a lot during this period of time at work, but our heart is still with our family. And later on, you can make a decision differently. So you can change your mix of your time, how you spend at work versus at life or family differently. So that's how I feel like work-life balance, if you look at it from a longer period of time, we can still achieve that.
Both Rose and her husband Philip are senior executives within the company. The high-flying pair surround themselves with art and culture in their stylish home. With such successful and knowledgeable parents, their children are sure to have a good grounding in life.
我扮演白脸，他扮演黑脸。那以一个妈妈的角度，她讲她说也很不公平啊。为什么我来扮黑脸？因为他对自己要求标准比较高吧，是吧？所以一回来大家就很紧张。哇，车子到了，上来了。但是这个东西以他来讲情何以堪？他一回来看到哪里就开始指指点点。两个董事长回到家谁听谁的嘛。那我这说听上帝的，当然就是说没有谁听谁，而是互相体谅嘛。就是如果你能多体谅他那么辛苦，多体谅他的现在心态，那就要跟去配合。
Another parenting challenge is bridging the gap between her and her stepdaughter.
我离婚，女儿跟我嘛 ，Rose 绝对把她当自己的亲生女儿。那 Rose 呢？你知道她对小孩学识上、学习上都标准比较高嘛，所以她也会要求嘛。当然她就无私的要求，但毕竟不是亲生的，所以那个时候在要求后，她自己感觉那个隔阂，所以很难做。然后如果女儿在国中又是叛逆期，更难。所以我们走过那一段，很重要的是，如果你是真心。你没有分别心，你是真心爱的小孩，小孩会感受到的。
Family photos depict a close family of 4. Rose has worked hard to develop a close relationship with her stepdaughter, Sunny. She carefully allocates her time between family and career, adjusting priorities as needed.
That's what I see. You know, there's some sacrifices, but it's probably not all for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth it. I think choices that we make in different stages of our lives.
Yeah.
I think people like to ask, can women have it all? Women can't have it all. But I think that we can, just not
Yes.
at the same time.
Not at the same time. Yeah, women can have it all. When you're passionate about career, you also exude that confidence that inspire your children.
Yes.
Like what I feel maybe one of the best gifts that I give my children is for them to look forward to working, look forward to their future adult life, look forward to kind of accomplish the best that they can. Because when they look at their parents, not that we are doing it with all the sacrifices. What they see is the confidence and the excitement and the passion that came along with it. Of course, there are difficult moments. There are times I kind of curse, oh my God, why am I like, right? But at the same time, they saw as conquering those difficulties and challenges, and that inspired them.
Rose believes that establishing good attitudes and values in children will benefit them the most in their lives.
我在蛮多性格跟一些价值观上面跟我妈还蛮相似的。那价值观当然部分当然也是因为我爸妈传递给我嘛，从小不论是信仰或者是单纯一些一般就是面对事情的态度。我跟他有时候都会比较急一点，那我们比较不会犹豫，然后可是也是导致常常有时候会一次要做太多事情，因为我们也是那种像他说嘛，勇敢说 yes， 有时候会说太多 yes。
What the world sees are the fruitful results of daring ventures and pioneering efforts, but the immense pressure borne by the leadership team is beyond words. Rose's husband remains a solid supporter of his wife's dedication to her career.
他工作压力很大，一直在持续成长。事实上，他是跑全球，我是跑亚洲，他跑全球。他并购台湾的无名小站啊 ，Monday 啊 ，Monday 是更大的嘛。好，那他的国际上也被并购，他是那么大的压力，而且直接 report 给 CEO， 所以他半夜也是要起来开会的，啊，不是在飞，回来就晚上开会。老板是最高兴有这样的员工，N 年来几乎每一天晚上很晚回来嘛，司机在的，尽管是这样，还在车上就在工作了，所以他随时在工作，就是随时在工作，随时要把事情做得更好。
Excelling in the workplace stems from gradual self-improvement. What's even more remarkable is Rose's unwavering passion for her job.
我觉得我很 fortunate 的一点就是，我算是从小就还蛮知道自己喜欢什么、擅长什么。And I was always willing to follow my heart. 我觉得很多人不见得，即便觉得我想，可是觉得你喜欢的这个东西会不会没有市场性啊？所以因此就会觉得我还是 follow, what is mainstream, what is other people think is the best. 所以我觉得。你越投入，然后你越看到，然后我可能是一个比较不是很计较的人。你多给我点事情，我一点都不会觉得 Why me？ 为什么我薪水也没加，我干嘛叫我多做事？这种观念从来没有在我脑海中 ever appeared。所以我觉得这些的养成，可能从学生时代、家庭教育，让我养成的就是，你能够去做你自己喜欢做的事，就尽量去做，先不要想它带来的后果是什么。对我而言，工作其实一直是一个成长的机会。我一直觉得，怎么天底下有这么好的事情？人家付钱给你，让你一直学新东西。
Innovating and trailblazing in the industry, taking the company to new heights, certainly takes its toll on both mind and body.
那时候诊断出乳癌，他那个时候南着北讨，对不对？日夜颠倒，时差对身体当然有影响。所以这个时差影响身体非常大，所以也因此我们现在要注意各种运动，要去健身房，我去健身房我就拉他去健身房，我去跑步我就拉他跑步，我去跑马拉松，上次跑了半马，打球也一样，我后来发现打球，因为你去练球，它会比较放松嘛，你就这样子，然后打球4个多小时，4个半小时来回。是不看手机的嘛，因为都在找球嘛。
In 2020, the couple left their full-time jobs, taking the time to plan and enjoy the next stage of their lives.
对我来说，我是在55岁那一年，好像就像上帝给了你一个越来越清楚的一些 sign， 让我把很多综合的感受都结合在一起，然后我觉得 it's time to flip the page， 好像该翻页了。
Since their retirement, she and her husband have slowed their pace, taking the time to pursue all the things they want to.
我们是停不下来的，我们还是会想做很多事情，但是你可以自己调整自己的时间，比较更多自主的时间。老婆，艺伎咖啡，
真的啊，
艺伎手冲咖啡。
我总觉得咖啡，你会觉得都是冲的时候、磨的时候最香，对吧？
但是这也不错，要慢慢享受微酸。
来，人生到了第三人生，当然把我们身体照顾好啊，这些更有机会好好把你关注的、你重视的东西，可以花更多的心思去做。我觉得，第三人生是等于更丰富。
In her next chapters, Rose actively participates in philanthropic endeavors, as well as prioritizing self-improvement and exercise.
每一本书，我可以想象都是一个作者花了很多的时间的书，就像是我自己的。
She, of course, continues to read voraciously. Faith is still a main constant in her life.
自从我们退休以来，我觉得最棒的一件事情，至少对我个人而言，最棒的是周一到周五有一个 regular 的，每一天早上9点钟到3小时。
Faith is a constant in her life through the challenges of her first marriage breakdown, the challenges of rebuilding a new family, and provided mutual support with her husband amid work pressures and parenting difficulties.
如果跟 Rose 吵架，现在那边我们两个感谢主，我们两个冷战时间很短，也感恩上帝赐给 Rose 是很难得也会主动道歉的。圣经里面讲嘛，这个愤怒不过日落啊，这也就是我们比较快可以和平相处在这边。所以有个共同信仰对我们太重要了，学习看他的优点啊，看自己的缺点嘛，啊，否则每个人有优点就伴随着缺点嘛。
Rose lets faith unite her family with its gift of harmony, enriching her spiritual life while also balancing her marriage and parent-child relationships is a priority for her.
你也趴了吗
Yes。
？It's me。
哎，还是我不要。
好，归我。
好 pass。
All right。
Accompanying her children through their rebellious teenage years, her son now worries about her not resting enough in her retirement.
我们觉得希望，在接下来1年啊，因为毕竟他也是即将迈向他的60岁，希望他可以持续的做自己想做的事情，然后持续的发挥他想要有的影响力，但同时也要给自己一点休息的时间，这样。
After shining brightly in the workplace, she now dedicates herself to enriching life experiences. She hopes that the younger generation will have a positive attitude to work.
蛮有意思的，我记得我有一次在教会听到我的主任牧师跟我们讲说，你知道吗？工作这个字啊 ，vocation 其实它的字的原意其实是呼召，其实是一个 calling。想一想，我们做的每一个工作 ，it's not just it's a job, it's a calling. Why you do what you do has God's good plan behind. 如果你这样想的话 ，wow， 你就觉得你所做的事情是很有价值的。
Rose exudes positive energy, brimming with curiosity about the world. She is always courageous, always fearless, and always sees opportunities. Even in retirement, Rose continues to have a positive impact on society and the people around her.